Hello. On Friday, I watched the Star Wars Episode 8, and of course, I'd like to share my opinion about this movie with you. I think it feels only natural to talk about this movie and to look like a freak, uh, because for me, uh, the whole idea of Episode 8 or even Episode 7 is really ridiculous. But it's Disney's decision. They're gonna make movies for as long as people want to watch them, and probably people will never get tired of Star Wars. Uh, so what can I say? As for a movie, it was a fine movie. It was good. As for a Star Wars episode, it was not so good. And I prepared um, like two lists. Yeah, if I can say so. One list is filled with good things, and another one is filled with bad things. Of course, it's very subjective. It's only my opinion, and what I find good or bad might be different from other people's opinion, etc. This video will be a huge spoiler. So in case if you don't want to hear any spoilers, don't watch it. Or probably you don't want to watch this video for some other reasons, I don't know. The whole thing made me remember Song by Depeche Mode, and then I was kind of singing it inside, and yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but I will play the lines. Yeah, where's the revolution? What I want from new Star Wars episode, I want something new. I want something breaking new. Because it was the main thing about of the previous episodes. There was always something new, something surprising, something shocking, something really amazing. And so far, most things, characters, situations, landscapes, is something what we've seen before. And of course, I will be more precise, but I will keep an eye on my lists. And probably I will start with bad things. This list is longer than a good list. So, what I disliked: too many close-ups. Especially since I was watching the movie in the cinema. The screen was really huge, and I really didn't enjoy all those huge faces, especially when the faces weren't so nice to look at. And I mean Kylo Ren, of course. I don't like this character, and I don't think that this actor really suits this whole image. It was my personal drama, my pain, when Snow demanded him to take off his helmet, and then Kylo broke his helmet into pieces. I just smashed it. I realized that I will have to see his face all the time, and probably next movies too. I don't think that he's a bad actor, but once again, I don't think he fits as a Star Wars villain. So what else I didn't like was useless cameos. For example, R2-D2 and C-3PO. Would be the movie the same without them? They didn't do anything significant in the episode 8, to be honest. They were added only to be a part of fan service. The same as Chewbacca, for example. He was more like a taxi driver. I didn't notice him doing something important. And for me, appearance of Yoda was also very useless, especially when they showed him as a puppet. That was really confusing and even disappointing, because the audience was laughing, and I don't think that his character and his appearance was meant only to be for fun. It was a very important moment for Luke, and I don't think it was funny, and I can't understand why it was funny after all. If it was meant so, then it's very sad. And we move to another thing I didn't like. It's too much of Disney so-called humor. A lot of fan service, a lot of comedy moments which made the audience laugh, but I personally didn't smile the whole movie. I felt like there was an attempt to be funny from time to time, but it wasn't funny because, you know, I was watching Star Wars, not some Disney family movie. You know, it's serious. It's about freedom. It's about people's lives. It's really serious. You know, it's like mighty goodness, and you know, this goodness is about to disappear. They are in huge trouble. It's serious. You know, it's drama. I didn't want to have a giggle while Luke was drinking some weird milk, or you know, those little creatures flying around making some sounds. It wasn't funny. Okay, I understand why this all exists in this movie, but I don't agree with it. Oh, and another thing I didn't like, too extended scenes, even action scenes. When you look at something really exciting, but it goes on and on and on, and you get tired of it. Even if it's action, things are exploding, and you're like, okay, I've seen it for a while. Maybe we will move to something else. Maybe we will finish this thing, and Unfortunately, many scenes were lasting for very long. I also didn't understand why. Uh, I just had to deal with it, but closer to the end, I became really nervous, and I really was waiting till the end. Uh, very impatiently, because the movie really got me tired with these very long scenes, unfortunately. And there were some certain moments which also uh, didn't make me happy about this movie. Well, first one is Leia floating in the outer space. When I saw it, I thought, okay, it's the end. Decent or not, but they closed the chapter, at least about this character. And then I saw the Force awakened again, Force awoke again. She was able to return to the starship, and she stayed alive. Why? How? Maybe I missed something. It was super confusing for me. I don't know if this scene was written in a hurry without much thinking, or everything is fine and something is wrong with me. I don't know. Another thing which really shocked me was about Rey and her very fast lessons with Luke. Actually, I was thinking that to become a Jedi, you need to learn for months, at least. You have to be patient, you need a lot of concentration, and it's not very easy to control the Force. But as we can see, you don't need much. The Force is with you, and first minute you don't know what it is and what to do with it, and next minute you can do anything, everything. How does it happen? I can't understand. Okay, the movie was really busy with the long action scenes, but I think it's really important to show the process of studying. But somehow movie thought that we saw it already with Luke and with Anakin sometime before, and we don't need to see it again. We kind of know how it works, we can skip it, but I think we can't. In my opinion, it's very important, and especially if this character has no roots with some previous powerful characters. It's really important to show how she learns to become a Jedi, and not just grabs a lightsaber and then has a great fight or anything. Probably she can fight with a stick or something, but lightsaber is a bit more difficult to deal with. Once again, I'm not the biggest fan. Maybe I don't know something, maybe I missed something. But for me, it was a huge mistake to skip such an important part. And when Snoke was telling Rey and Kylo about how how smart he is, and that he can fool anyone, he can control anybody's mind, and then he just can't notice, he can't see this his coming death. It's unpredictable, it's surprising, maybe even in a good way. But you really start to doubt that he was so powerful. If he can't see, he can't feel what's happening right in front of him in this very room. And this death very fast was a surprise, as I said, but also a disappointment. I was hoping for some like development of the character, of his story, of his background, maybe. If they tell us something more about his character in the future, would be helpful. Another thing, last one, which which really surprised not just me but also the movie itself. When BB-8 saves Rose and Finn, he rides some kind of robot and he saves the day. I saw the Finn's face and it showed my own emotions, my own feelings at that very moment. Like, why? How? What's going on? How is it possible? Like they couldn't come up with a better idea, with a better solution. And they remembered that they still have BB-8. He can actually save everyone. I think it was so stupid. I don't think it was creative, because, like for anything what's happening in the movie, you can just, like put the droid on the empty space and he will do everything. For example, BB-8 could kill the Snoke, because, it would have been very unexpected, even for Snoke. And it would have been also very cute, because you don't expect such a cruel thing from this cute little droid. Yeah, I think it was a very weak thing in the script. And the whole resume thing, which I didn't like about this movie, also about the previous episode, and that I'd like to remember the characters from the original trilogy, Jan and Eli. And they showed us the characters which got old and also unfortunately died. We got Han Solo dead, Luke also disappeared, so he's kinda dead too. And unfortunately, since Carrie Fisher died, her character, I guess, will die too. It's very sad because, of course, the actors will die one day. But at least we could see them alive in the movies, in the Star Wars. And the characters would be living no matter what. And with these new episodes, eh, everything will end for the characters. It's really sad. That's what I realized while I was watching the movie. And now for the list with the good things. It's shorter, but probably it will make my opinion better in a way. So what I liked is that good guys can fail or even die in this part, in this episode. I don't think when things become too ideal, too perfect for the positive characters. And seeing them fail completely was in a way a good thing for me. Well, first, it was sort of unexpected, and second, it was more realistic. Third, it was also kind of something new, because usually watching a movie like that, we expect the good to win always. So this moment I really appreciate it. Another one is Rose's personal tragedy. In the very beginning, when we see her sister dies, at first we probably don't see that it will have some continuation, and then they show us Rose crying absolutely alone in the whole universe. I think this moment is really cool and really important because it shows the real face of war, that it's very cruel, and behind all those starships that explode from time to time, there are people's lives, there are families who lose very dear people. And to show this tragedy of one human being was a very wise step to show how meaningless and cruel wars are, if I explain that more or less understandable. What's next? Luke's Island. I don't remember the name of the planet, if it was mentioned, but the whole location seemed very fresh to me. The landscape itself was very beautiful. It was so green, like to the contrary of Snoke's room, which was all red with red guards, and it was all green and a lot of blue sky, and of course a lot of rain to show the depression of the moment. But generally the landscape looked like something absolutely new and different, which was unusual, because, as I mentioned before, practically everything else we've seen in previous episodes. and another thing I liked was the illusion of Luke's presence on the planet Crete. This whole abandoned base was a little bit too much for that moment, because they were so desperate. They really didn't have any hope, and this sudden planet, which was not a secret, but they didn't have it in plans. It was something that what came out of blue, and at the end the space didn't do much for the resistance, but the appearance of Luke on the planet was, I think, the best moment of the whole movie, and the best moment of the fight on the planet, because the fight itself was very long. It was too long, it was too boring, at least for me. And that moment when I realized that it was all an illusion, it made me really proud for the movie makers, because that was really a nice twist. And what I personally also liked is that I finally got my Star Wars. I wanted to see battles in the space, and I saw them. I was really relieved. And generally, the movie was nice done visually. It was nice to look at, except for those close-ups. But all in all, the movie is really good, and it deserves to be seen in the movies, I think. At least I don't regret that I spent the money for the tickets. It was worth it. Oh, so that's all. I didn't have any prepared text as usually, just those lists or one list. So I'm sorry that again I was wasting the time while finding the words. But I hope that despite all the troubles, you enjoyed the video, and I hope that my opinion is not at all shit, and I had some like ground. So if you agree with me, I'd like to hear your opinion in the comments. If you don't agree with me, I'd like to know why. So feel free to tell me what you think about the movie. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.